Yesterday, I watched a video about a man from Zimbabwe. This man lives in UK, but he's a nationality of Zimbabwe. So one time like that, I think about 2 years ago, he had the interest of being a farmer. He wanted to go into poultry farming. So he went back to his country to do it. So on getting to his country, he started the whole process, started his poultry farming, got his chickens and all of that, got the structure ready. But 2 years later, this man carried himself and ran back to the UK. Now, what happened is that it wasn't like exactly how he expected. It didn't turn out the way he expected. And he gave his reasons why the business did not do well. And it all boiled down to a lot of factors that so many people who live in the diaspora are actually facing. It all boils down to a lot of factors, a lot of mistakes that people who live in diaspora have made or are making or are going to make if they are not careful about investing back home in Africa. Now, it's not just about packing your load, taking money. Oh, I'm going home to go and invest. Oh, I'm going home to go and start a business. I'm going home to go and do one or two things. The question is, that thing you want to invest in, that business you want to invest in, number one, how well do you know about it? How vast is your knowledge about that particular investment? Because I've come to understand that a lot of people just rush these things, like they follow the crowd a lot. When they see people say, no, I'm going to start fish farming, everybody wants to start fish farming. People are saying, oh, we're going to start poultry, everybody's going into poultry. People say, oh, I'm going to start rearing cows and goats, so everybody wants to go into the same thing. Now, sometimes you also hear, oh, real estate. You go all over Facebook, see people marketing real estate back home. Come and buy 2 plots of land, come and buy 3 plots of land, come and buy 10 acres of land, sell it and invest and blah, blah, blah. And you see people in diaspora rushing to go and do the same thing just because it's like the business in vogue. Other people are doing it, so you now feel, oh, you too, you can do it. That's one of the mistakes people make. You don't just rush into something because everybody is doing it. You should, number one, have a deep knowledge about what that business is all about. You should have because if you don't know what you are going in for, people are going to make a mess of you. Especially when they know that you have no idea. Right there under your nose, they're going to cheat you. Right there under your nose, they're going to destroy the business for you. Right there under your nose, they're going to manipulate you because they know that you have no idea. They can tell you, okay, bring sand, let us mix it with stone and we'll perform more magic with it. And of course, because you think they are the professionals in that line of business, you will give them what they want. And at the end of the day, you'll be wondering, what has sand and stone got to do with this? But the way they will be able to manipulate you and the way they will twist those words to just suit that particular time and frame that they want to use your brain is what you also need to study. So number one, get deep knowledge about any business you intend to do. Whether you're going to be there or not, just know what that business is all about. Number two, after gaining that knowledge, it's very important that if you're starting an investment back home, it's advisable you are there to run it. That idea of, oh, I have a business back home, but I live in the diaspora, it doesn't work for everybody. Some people can be lucky to have trusted, allies back there that will help you run your business and you will sleep with your 2 eyes open. While some are not lucky. In some cases, I've heard a lot of nasty stories about people who open businesses or have investments back home and they live abroad. And under your nose here, while you are living abroad, they are dealing with you back home. They are giving you excuses upon excuses on why your business is not flourishing. You are wondering why your investment is going down the drain instead of growing. You're wondering why you're wasting so much money, you're spending so much into that business. You just keep asking yourself, why? How long will I keep pumping money into this and I'm not seeing any return? That is because you are not there. So whatever they tell you, you are bound to believe. Whatever they ask you to do, you are bound to do it. Because in the first place, you will be like, if I don't do it now, who will now do it for me? If I don't do what they ask me to do, if I don't bring this, if I don't do that, who's going to help me run it? So you are dependent on them. And because they also understand that you're not in the country to run it yourself, they will do with you as they wish. So if you intend to start a business back home, it is advisable. It is not compulsory. You mustn't be there, because some people will say, oh, after all, but I have something I'm doing abroad where I live. I can't be in both places. Fine. That is when the idea of having someone you trust comes into the picture. But in a case whereby you have no idea who to trust to run it for you, or whereby you think, man, I think I need to be there to oversee things myself, it is advisable you are there. Because in the first place, you might even be there and your staff will still cheat you. Talk less of when you are not there. Of course, I've seen stories, I've heard stories of people that have businesses. They are there right there in Africa. They will open their shop. If it is a shop they have, or if it's a boutique or whatever it is they're selling. And then they get in a sales girl. Sales girl will go and buy her own products and put in the same shop. So while she's selling your own, she's selling her products. In some cases, she will abandon your own and focus on her own and be selling her products in your shop, free space. So sometimes it is very advisable you are there in person to monitor what you are doing. If you can't be there in person and you don't have someone you trust to do it for you, my dear, don't start that business. Another issue is that most people think that it's just about going into business. Not everybody is blessed to be a business person. Not everybody has that destiny, or not everybody has that magic touch, magic wand to be a business person. Some people are just better off doing their 9-to-5 jobs. Just stick to it. Go to work, come back, collect your money, enter house. Not everybody is business inclined. So because you now see people say, no, I want to be a businessman, I want to own my business, I want to do this, I want to do that. You follow them and go without knowing the, what it takes to be a business person, without knowing what it takes to be self-employed, without knowing what it takes to run a business. The way you work your normal, traditional 9-to-5 job might be different from the way you operate a business. Different from the way you do your self-employment thing. Because as a normal 9-to-5 traditional employee, whether you work, you don't work, it all tells at the end of the month. If you work, you are paid. If you don't work, you are not paid. And then if you're the kind of person that you are very loyal to your job, very, very, punctual and all of that, definitely every month you must get your pay. That one is certain. It doesn't matter what the company, your office is going through, but every month you are sure that you must be paid. But it's a different ball game when it comes to self-employment. And some people don't know this. They just think that, oh, it's all going to be rosy. Some businesses don't pick up within the first 1 or 2 years. Some businesses, once you start it, it takes time for the business to stand on its feet and is able to sustain itself financially. So what will you be doing within this 1 or 2 years when the business is still trying to hold ground? Especially when you have no idea what you are doing. And especially when you have maybe resigned from your job to face this business full time. So these are the kind of questions you should ask yourself before going into business. Don't just go into business because everybody's going into business. Oh, they said this is raining. Oh, they said that business is raining. Let me go along. Let me play along with it. You might end up switching over to that. And you ruin your chances of having a peaceful life, doing what you are, used to doing. So if you live abroad and for any reason you want to go and invest back home, research properly. Research properly. Don't just carry your hard-earned money and go and dump it in a terrain you have no idea how it works. Ask questions about the business. What does it entail? How many staff do you intend to have? How much capital should you inject in the business? Which location is best for that kind of business? What is, what should be your turnaround after a period of time? If you go into this business, do you have competitors? If you have competitors, look at them. Know what they are making. Try to find out, are they also making money from this? If they're making money from it, try to find out what is it they are doing that is making their business to, to be sustainable, to grow. These are the kind of things. Don't just rush in because people are doing, everybody's, I'm going home to invest. You too, you can't go and invest. Ask questions. So many people have gone home to invest. And after a while, because the business did not do well, they ran back to their base to start all over. Don't make that mistake too.